Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome to the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. I am the Maestro, Kevin Crane.
I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
Taping here on June the 29th, 2022. This will hit July the 2nd. We hope you have a safe, happy, healthy holiday weekend.
Enjoy the damn 4th of July. Blow shit up.
And you have an extra day to listen to music, go see a movie, or watch something on Netflix.
Or blow shit up.
Can you tell which one of us is going to blow shit up?
It's the 4th of frickin' July. You're supposed to light things on fire.
I'm in my 50s. I don't blow shit up anymore. I just hope that my prostate doesn't blow up.
I'm in my 50s and I still blow that stuff up.
All right, as always, we start off with music. And we have a huge concert review this week. Of course, last weekend was the long-delayed, long-awaited Billy Joel show at Notre Dame Stadium, which the Conquistador and I were both fortunate enough to see.
Yes, we had a phenomenal day tailgating early on.
Long day of tailgating, yeah. So we did not have to pay for the overpriced beers because we had plenty of our own.
We had a nice buzz going into the concert.
Yep, about half the stadium, as opposed to Garth Brooks, where Garth Brooks was in the round. So the stadium was
about 2/3.
It looked like everybody who had tickets showed up or had sold them to somebody who wanted to be there. So it was pretty full crowd.
It was a pretty full crowd for a Saturday.
The regular crowd shuffled in. And there was an old man sitting next to me.
Making love to his tonic and gin. Yes.
Now, the thing about Billy Joel is we've both seen him before. Different times, though. This is the first time we'd seen him together.
Yep, you saw him.
I'd seen him once at Market Square in Indianapolis and once at Notre Dame at the Joyce Arena.
Okay. I got to see him down in Indianapolis at the old Hoosier Dome, RCA Dome, on the Piano Men tour where he was performing with Elton John.
So, that being said, Billy Joel, next to Paul McCartney or Elton John, probably has the deepest catalog of anybody out there. Stones, of course, should be in there as well. So it's kind of hard to criticize. I will, because that's what I do.
You will.
Because there's always going to be a song or two when you've got that deep of a catalog, when you're that established of an artist, where there's going to be a song where I want to hear that I didn't get to hear. But let's put it this way. 2 hours and 5 minutes, pretty damn close to the best set list you were going to get.
I did not have an issue with anything that he played. Would I have liked to heard one or two more?
Right.
Of course.
Right.
But I cannot complain about what we got.
No. The ones that stood out for me is, I don't want to say curveballs, but again, ones that I kind of I wasn't expecting, as opposed to some he left out, were Zanzibar, Vienna, and my personal favorite for the night was the Ballad of Billy the Kid.
Yes, those were the three I did not think we were going to get at all.
Yeah.
And the way the night went, they were perfect for how he was rolling through.
Right.
And I loved how he was just kind of, this one wasn't a hit, but people seem to like it, so here you go. Or this was sort of a hit, or this one did pretty well.
He was trying to be humble because he knows goddamn well all of them were hits.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, not counting An Innocent Man, because I was glad he only played 2 songs off that album. He played the bare minimum
of
the ones he had to. And kudos to him for being able to sing and hit the high notes on An Innocent Man, the song.
Oh my God.
Because I remember in the past, he did not even try that. And we're
Yeah,
talking 30 years ago.
Yeah. And he came out and prefaced it that, all right, here's one. I don't know how it's going to go. Sometimes I can hit the notes. Sometimes I can't. If you boo me relentlessly, I won't take it personally. I fully understand. And he went into it and good Lord, he hit it.
Yep. So taking out the fact that he could have tortured us with 4 or 5 songs from that album, which he's a smart man. I still think he understands what songs the people want to hear and what songs they don't.
Yes.
That's why I think even though that album sold 7 million copies, he realizes that the diehard fans don't want anything to do with that album.
Right.
We don't need to hear A Matter of Trust.
No, God, no.
I did make a list, though, of 8 songs that I would have liked to have heard. Not taking anything out of the list, the set list
we
that
will
he
give
played.
You the 8 that could have been there. Then we will give you the breakdown of what was played.
These were not played. And this will tell you again how he could have gone on for 3 hours.
Easily.
And still had a perfect set. We did not get Stiletto, The Stranger, Captain Jack, Just the Way You Are, which I don't think he plays anymore at all.
I don't think he does.
Even though it's arguably one of his biggest hits. Did not play Goodnight Saigon.
I know. Goodnight Saigon and Captain Jack were 2 I was really hoping for.
Honesty. Did not get Honesty.
I'm okay.
She's Got Away. Did not get that. And one of my personal favorites, Sometimes a Fantasy.
Yeah, that would have been
And he
nice.
played that. I know he played that the last time I saw him.
So
it's creepy, but I love that song so much.
There you go. So you're asking us, what did he give you? All right. Started off with the interlude to the Notre Dame fight song, homage to where he was playing, and then went right into My Life. Solid start. Got the crowd into it. Beautiful.
Then he played one of my personal favorites, Pressure, which I love.
Always good.
Yep. Some people were bitching. They didn't. That was one that other people said they could have done without.
I enjoyed it. That's what I wanted.
Pressure. Always liked
Always
Pressure.
loved it.
Now, here's the first one where I could have said, I could have bailed on this in favor of one of the other ones that I listed.
The Entertainer. I would have rather have had Captain Jack over the Entertainer.
Exactly. That would have been a good call. And move Captain Jack a little bit later in the set.
Yeah, or you could have moved up.
Yeah, then we talked about Zanzibar. I liked having Zanzibar in the set. Great song, underrated song.
Loved it. Then you got An Innocent Man, which we talked about that he absolutely nailed.
The Ballad of Billy the Kid, again, my personal favorite for the night. Songs in the Attic, and then earlier on, of course.
Yeah.
I could have listened to him play that whole album, and I'd have been happy.
Yeah, that would have been phenomenal. So after Ballad of Billy the Kid, then we got Moving Out.
Nobody wanted to hear that. Nobody.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody likes Moving Out.
You can never argue with a crazy mama.
You ought to know by now.
Nobody wanted to hear that. Then Vienna, which I was surprised especially a lot of the younger people around us seem to really like and get into. Which is a great song. Great. Allentown's awesome.
Had to have Allentown. That was beautiful.
This is the one I wish he would have dropped.
New York State of Mind could have gone away. I've never been a fan of that one.
Play it when you play New York.
Exactly. That's the only place that wants to hear it.
Yes. We could have taken The Stranger, Stiletto, something else in there.
Exactly.
Now after that, I think after that,
he pulled the Elton John cover, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Okay. Could have done without it. He did it well. But
an
again,
abbreviated version. An
and it
abbreviated
was an
version.
abbreviated. But again, you could have inserted one of the 8 aforementioned. He did
When we
not
get to
play.
the end, I'm going to discuss that along with a couple others.
Yeah. And again, now you get another cover after Don't Let
Abbreviated
the Sun,
again.
and another abbreviated Here Comes the Sun from the Beatles. Didn't need it. Could have been one of his own.
Then we got a song that I did not think he would play, which I was extremely happy he did. Don't Ask Me Why is one of my favorites.
Love it.
All the way to Zinyo Grand Cafe. Oh, I love that song. And I was so happy he played it. And then you get She's Always a Woman, which is one of his great slow songs. That's why it didn't bother me that he skipped Just the Way You Are.
Right.
Play some of your better slow songs, even though Just the Way You Are is sales-wise your biggest, I don't want to say ballad, but slow song. He picked the better ones.
He did. And She's Always a Woman is
right
at the top.
Right.
Then, of course, starts rocking it out again.
Apologizes. given
where he's at.
Yeah, given the university and the religious delineation of such.
Yep, only the good die young. And then I loved it. I hoped for it. We got it. River of Dreams.
Not one of my favorites.
No?
I knew it was coming.
I enjoy it.
It's okay. It's okay. There's no way he's not going to play that, so I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And then we get the opera, the Italian opera intro to my favorite Billy Joel song, which I cannot tell you how awesome it was. Once again, live to hear Scenes from an Italian Restaurant.
Yep. And the entire stadium was singing every word, and note for note.
This is what drives me insane about music nowadays. I'm very passionate, as you can tell, about this song.
It's it's a great story.
But this goes back to when you and I grew up in the 80s, the late 70s and the 80s. Album-oriented radio, AOR radio, when you could play a deep cut like this. This was not a radio hit.
No,
this
it
was
wasn't.
Not a single.
No.
But people heard it because radio disc jockeys, actual human beings, not taped, actually played 5, 6, 7 cuts in. I listened to The Stranger today. Before we started doing this podcast, I listened to it. And do you realize all but 2 of those songs
got airplay?
Got airplay.
I believe it.
You never hear that now.
No,
never.
You're lucky you get 1. 2 if you're lucky.
It's all, well, if I stumble upon it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Scenes from an Italian Restaurant was one of those songs you would hear on the radio now and then, and people gravitated to it because it was long, it was beautiful, it rocked, it had the tempo hook. Changes. It was like Billy Joel's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Almost.
That's a perfect way to put it. It had
and that's why people gravitated to it and loved it so much. And that's why if he did not play that song in concert,
there would have been a riot.
Even though it was not a hit.
So, and then right before the encore, you get Piano Man. Another one, you go back to back where everybody sings every note.
Yep.
Awesome experience.
And then, of course, he starts pulling out the hits he's got left for the encore with We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yep. And then Uptown Girl, which our buddy Jamie texted. I texted him and said, there you go. He goes, somebody's going to get punched.
Because, again, like I was saying earlier, none of us wanted to hear anything other than the bare minimum from An Innocent Man.
Yeah.
And so, Jamie was like me. Jamie was like, let's just play the 70s stuff. Just play the 70s stuff.
Ignore that one and go with the good stuff.
Yep. And then, of course, we get It's Still Rock and Roll to Me.
which I was thrilled to get.
Big shot. Because you had to be a big shot,
didn't you?
And then, of course, you may be right with the interlude of rock and roll.
Yeah, I could have done without that one.
That was the night. 2 hours, like I said, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Let me say this to you. And we've got time. Since this is our big review of the week, we don't have an album. We've got one song.
This is it.
Discussion point.
Yes, he should have gone longer.
Well, beyond that. No, we're not talking about Hero-gasm yet. No. Looking back at Sammy Hagar, okay? Now, here's where I get a little upset with the laziness of some of these artists. Okay, and I know they're better than this, and I know they're more creative, and they're more intelligent than this. Now, with Sammy Hagar and the Circle, who we saw recently, there's a reason why you're playing rock and roll. It's
right.
Because Jason Bonham is playing drums.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a familial connection.
Yeah.
Didn't have to play rock and roll, though. You could have
played anything.
But you chose the lazy option.
You
chose the easy option.
Short.
You could have played When the Levee Breaks. Oh, my God. I would have gone crazy.
You could have played Ramble On.
Right. Same thing with Billy Joel. And we forgot to mention, during the River of Dreams, there was a break to let one of his background performers do Dancing in the Street.
Yeah.
But again, that ties into what I'm getting at here.
Getting a little lazy.
Why are we always picking the same dozen songs, the same dozen classic rock songs? What? Are we saying the audience isn't smart enough to recognize a deeper cut from Led Zeppelin?
They're the easiest, shortest. There's nothing to them. They're fluff pieces.
But see, I don't know how you feel about this. I feel like that downgrades the performance because that's a lack of originality to me.
I agree, because Dancing in the Street.
Here comes the sun. Oh, really? Don't let the sun. I know he did. He worked with Elton on "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me," but
it's a cop out.
I would have preferred he did a curveball and did a different Elton John song, something that we wouldn't expect him to do, like "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" would have been cool as hell. And then do a more obscure Beatles song or do a Paul McCartney song. Why do we always have to pick?
Why do you even have to cover when
pick
you
a more obscure oldie? Period.
Why don't you? We are here to see you do your stuff. You have such a huge catalog. We do not need to hear you do an Elton John song. We do not need to hear you do a Beatles song. We don't need these little interludes. We are here for you and your stuff. Like you listed, 8 out there, easily left on the table that could have been inserted for those.
And even if you want to, and he did a great job of highlighting all his background performers. He did.
He did.
But if you, instead of having your background percussionist sing Dancing in the Street, have her sing one of your songs.
Exactly.
You know? Why don't you have her do Just the Way You Are? You know? But I find this to be lazy. And again, I'm not trying to criticize Sammy or Billy.
But they pick the low-hanging fruit of songs to do. And for everybody to want to do rock and roll. It's a cop-out.
I would prefer you take a chance and you play a cover song. Even if I don't know it, I can look it up later and go, oh, that's interesting. Let me go listen to that song, the original version. And then do
the same old tired
Jumpin'
crap.
Jack Flash. What was next, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to pick a Stone song. Pick something a little bit off the beaten path. You know, Johnny Be Good. You know, just Do something different. If you're going to do a cover song, do something different and something more interesting. Otherwise, like you said, go back to the catalog. You've got so much more left.
Yeah, we would have rather have heard you do your stuff than somebody else's.
Yeah.
We came to hear your music, not somebody else's.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to denigrate the concert because of that. That's a small criticism.
This is just a criticism of everybody in general.
In general. We talked about Guns N' Roses last year and how awesome that show was. Look at the gamble, the chance, the fact that Axl Rose let his ego come down a couple notches by playing Slither.
Yeah.
A song that he did not sing originally, but Slash did with Velvet Revolver. And Axl had the balls to say, screw it, I'll do this song. This is an awesome song. Let's do it. Let's see how the audience likes it. And it kicked ass. That's the kind of chance you have got to take.
Because it was at least somebody in your band had a huge part of it.
Right.
Ugh.
We saw Wolfgang Van Halen earlier this year.
Yep.
Pulling out Them Bones from Alice in Chains.
Again,
a cover I'd never heard before. Heard Alice in Chains do it. Never heard. Again, stay away from the generic top 5 bands of all time crap.
Go deep. Do something different and unexpected.
Don't insult our intelligence. As rock fans, we know some of the older, deeper stuff. We don't need to hear the generic stuff we hear 15 times a day on the goddamn radio.
Give us the deep album cuts that we don't get if you're going to have to cover somebody.
I appreciate Dave letting me rant on that because that was a big...
I agree completely. It drove me nuts.
That was the one big issue I had. Again, not a big issue. I still say Billy Joel is one of the most consistent, dependable performers, just like I said about Sammy Hagar. Similar review, similar shows, strong 3 frenzies.
Exactly. It would have been higher had we not had the covers.
And a little bit longer show.
And a little bit longer.
But again, both are in their 70s. We get it.
We'll give them a little bit of a break on that.
Yep.
But he was entertaining throughout. He was engaging with the crowd. He just wasn't out there singing. He was telling little tidbits here and there, and it was fun.
Oh, it was great. Great show. He's, again, if there's 5 performers out there I could tell you to go see consistently that will not let you down, he would be one of the 5. He would be one of the 5. I would put him ahead of Van Halen. I would say...
Yeah, they've been a little up and down.
Billy Joel is more dependable than a Van Halen was in the day.
I've seen Elton John twice with Billy Joel and solo. I would say if you get a chance, go see Elton John.
Yeah, not many chances left with Elton. Yeah.
No, he is phenomenal.
All right. Speaking of redoing old songs, we have one song review this week for charity, for gun safety. Our boys in Tenacious D, Jack Black and Kyle Gass, have released the Who medley, which they have done in concert for years and years and years.
And we finally get it.
The vinyl version, if you go out and find it and buy it, all proceeds go to gun safety, not banning guns. Gun safety. Big difference.
Huge difference.
3 songs off of the soundtrack from Tommy, including Pinball Wizard. Don't watch the video. Don't watch the video. I don't need to see Jack Black in drag. I just don't need...
Oh, come on.
Literally, I think I almost threw up in my mouth.
Twice, probably.
But the song itself, phenomenal.
They do an amazing job with it. Rolling right in from one to the other and just
it's only about
going.
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, they hit the high points of it and it flows beautifully. They do a phenomenal job with it.
Yes, and they are like us, fanatical rock and roll fans. You can feel it. You can hear it in the music when they do their cover songs, when they do their originals. You can pick out who has influenced the songs.
Yeah. They wear it on. They wear it in the music. Who influenced it?
Yes, and it's someday. This is my Sports Frenzy Weekend Edition pledge. Someday, Dave and I will go see them live.
They are a bucket list.
Yes, we will see Tenacious D live at some point. But strong 3 frenzies for Tenacious D's The Who medley.
For sure.
A little bit of music news to wrap up segment 1. Well, I guess I shouldn't have worried about Tommy Lee. Played his first full show last night in Charlotte.
Oh, gee, there's a shock. Must not have broken the ribs too badly.
Well, have you heard the story about how he did it?
Which one? Falling down the stairs, carrying the suitcases?
That's the
Or
one.
the fight with Barry Manilow that we talked about last week?
The suitcases. So, again, hopefully doesn't re-aggravate anything.
Broken, cracked, or just badly bruised and separated?
Well, as long as we get to see him play a full set in August, that's all I care about. Sorry, selfish, yes, that's all I care about. Dave and I have talked about music we're going to review coming up, including Megadeth. We'll be back. The new album, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead, is out September the 2nd.
We'll give you a full album review when that hits.
Ozzy Osbourne, title track, Patient Number 9. His new album comes out September the 9th. Next week, we will review the title song. News just broke today. Dave's going to love this.
Broke like the wind.
Dave's going to love this.
Why do I feel an aneurysm coming on?
No. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
We saw Kiss at the beginning of the farewell tour. Within the first, month or 2 months of the farewell tour?
I think it was like the 3rd or 4th show in.
Gene Simmons came out today and said they're going to add 100 more cities.
It's the farewell tour that will never end.
He says they will at least be on tour through 2023.
It's the farewell tour that won't end.
So I believe we're going to probably have to go see them again.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we're going to see them again. You goddamn well know it. Next year, yes. We will see them next year.
You're going to make my boys make me go, aren't you?
You have to! You could say you saw it on the front end and the back end. The 5-year farewell tour. Finally, a band that I like. I don't know how Dave feels about this, but they have been kind of lying in the weeds. Haven't done much in over a decade, but King's X. New album coming out September the 2nd, 3 Sides of One.
Interesting.
That's one that I will listen to.
I'll give it a shot.
Classless Act, of course, the band that we have kind of talked about, opening for the whole stadium tour with Motley Crue and Def Leppard. Their album is finally out. Welcome to the show. We kind of dug in a little bit into their music.
A little bit. We may give it a go.
We may review it, may not.
Depends on what kind of mood we're in.
Yep. And I told Dave, I will not disclose the name of the band till next week. I have a special album review that he and I are going to put out there in the next month. When we have the time, we've got concert reviews coming up, Doobie Brothers in 2 weeks.
Yep. Kansas coming up down the line.
Yep. So when we can fit it in.
Faster Pussycat.
LA Guns.
And Tom Kiefer.
So
it's going to be a busy month coming up here, kids.
Plenty of music. Plenty of music for us to talk about. So stay tuned for that. For this episode, stay tuned. Next up, movie reviews. TV and streaming. We'll be right back. When the mindless zombies at the major sports networks won't leave you alone. When the forces of evil on local sports radio have you cornered. Load up the boomstick known as Sports Frenzy 2.0. Available on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. Kev Dave will drive the dull and boring voices in your head away and offer you the sports salvation you need. New episodes drop every Thursday. And don't forget the weekend edition every Saturday, where the Maestro and the Conquistador might just review your favorite horror flick. Sports Frenzy 2.0. It's groovy.
Hi kids, this is the Conquistador Dave Height, and I'm supposed to introduce the second segment of Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition.
Taping air on June the 29th, 2022. This will hit on July the 2nd. We hope you have
Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day.
As always, you can find us all over the place. Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, which Dave neglected earlier this week, and Stitcher!
Maybe I didn't want to talk about them.
Well, that's a really good business model for us to follow, isn't it?
You can find us anywhere any fine podcast is.
Check out our Facebook page. Anywhere except for Twitter. I don't tweet.
Nope, we're not twits.
Nope. All right,
this is the movie segment. Yes.
So let me tell you something, kids. Let me jump in here. I think the Conquistador has formulated an insidious plot. I think what he's doing is he's making me review all these movies before he watches them to find out if they're any good, so he doesn't have to waste his time.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Because why don't you tell the people what you watched for the segment this week, Dave?
I watched about half of Spiderhead. It was intriguing, but it did not do enough to hold my interest to finish it out. I just didn't care that much about it.
Of course, last week, that's what I pretty much said.
I tried to give it a go. I did not get the opportunity to watch Man from Toronto.
Well, of course I did, though. And guess what?
It sucked.
It was not very good. So, yes.
So I was better served playing Gran Turismo 7.
See? You see what I'm dealing with here, people? Do you hear what I'm dealing with?
It was a Father's Day
gift for Dave.
It was a Father's Day gift for my kids, and I got sucked into playing. You know how it is with the new video game.
I know how it is because I got nothing for Father's Day. Thanks a lot. Thanks for digging into that wound.
Talking about getting a new video game and diving into it.
So supposedly we had an agreement that we were both going to watch The Man from Toronto. But somehow I got stuck watching The Man from Toronto.
You could have bailed on it just as easily.
That's not the type of human being I am. When I make a commitment, I stick by my guns and I stick to that commitment. For better or for worse. For richer or poorer. Till death do us part.
Or the papers are served.
Yeah, The Man from Toronto. Let me put it this way. I do not have anything against Woody Harrelson or Kevin Hart. I actually like Kevin Hart. Even though I've not seen a lot of his stuff, I kind of like him. I like his energy. I like his sense of humor. But it's not like it's anything new or different. When I see a mediocre comedian in a movie like this, the only thing I can think is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. Not counting Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore. Everything after those two.
You didn't like Hubie Halloween?
Jesus God. You see what I'm dealing with again? Do you hear what I deal with, people? So I watched The Man from Toronto on Netflix. Now, this movie, of course, was originally supposed to be a big Sony release in the theaters, and then Netflix bought it. There had been cast changes, not Kevin Hart. He was always attached, but the Woody Harrelson role, I believe, had gone through a couple actors. I want to say...
That's never a good sign.
I want to say Sam Rockwell, maybe Colin Farrell, maybe, not sure. But there were turnover issues with that particular role until it landed on Woody Harrelson. But again, this is a generic mistaken identity cop buddy movie. It's like Rush Hour. It's any of those you want to choose or pick.
It's the same damn
and
story.
It doesn't add anything new to the mix. There is nothing original, nothing new about The Man from Toronto. It's well done for what it is. It's competent for what it is. Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson do their best to make it tolerable.
So basically, unless you have absolutely nothing else to do.
If you are 20 years old and have not seen all these cop buddy movies that Dave and I have seen.
Rush Hour, 48 Hours.
Lethal Weapon, all those. It's not going to do anything for anybody who is not a young millennial. Let's put it that way. Who has not, again, seen all these other movies, all the other incarnations of this tired plot that's been done over and over and over again.
With no new twists.
No new twists. I give The Man from Toronto 1.5 frenzies, and once again, I have saved Dave an hour and a half of his life so he can play Gran Turismo 7. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you once again.
I appreciate it. Now I can work on continuing to get all gold in the licenses.
I did watch another movie you do not get to watch.
Yeah, rub it in, because I will not give CBS and Paramount any of my money right now.
I got to watch Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. That, my friends, is a movie.
Is it worth the free trial?
It's $5 a month. It's worth $5. It's a great movie. My Boys Return, Beavis and Butthead. And you can say anything you want, denigrate me, all you people out there who think Woody Allen's a fucking comedic genius.
Woody Allen's a fucking hack.
Beavis and Butthead are such... If you don't get how brilliant Beavis and Butthead are, then you are the idiot. Not me. You're the idiot. They are mocking society. They are mocking everybody who take things too seriously.
Yeah, fire. Do you have any candy? I need some TP for my bumble.
When Beavis and Butthead get recruited against their will into space camp.
Oh, God.
And end up going on a space mission. I will not tell you the details of how they prove their mettle, but let's say it fits perfectly with Beavis and Butthead. Then they end up getting thrown in a black hole, projected into 2022, modern day.
Oh, no.
And meet alternate versions of themselves from another universe.
Oh, God.
Smarter versions, the smartest versions of themselves.
Oh, my. Frightening.
Who try to tell them if they do not go back through the portal that they keep trying to set up for them, that they keep somehow forgetting to go to or missing or going to another part of the state. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It is one of the best Beavis and Butthead. I think it's better than Beavis and Butthead Do America by far. I mean, it is so funny. When
All right,
Cornholio starts a prison riot. And the prisoners somehow piece together the Cornholio rant and make it into some kind of a chant, a protest chant that causes a prison lockdown. They won't let us have freedom with our bungholes? What are you talking about?
I need deep in for my bunghole. Do you have any candy?
And you see 4 semi-trucks of toilet paper come up.
What about the candy? Do they have any candy?
It is literally, I'm sorry. You can judge me all you want. You can say, I'm not a smart person. I am. I'm sorry. Anytime you want to compare academic credentials to me, that's fine. I'm allowed to like Beavis and Butthead. I love them.
The satirical comedy that they bring is brilliant at a lowbrow level. That's what makes it so damn good and entertaining.
You got to look at it as not only they talk about the adolescent repression of sexuality. I know that sounds like way too much for me to be talking about, but they talk about social issues, political correctness. They talk about the stupidity of the education system. You know, you've got the principal who always looks like he's about ready to blow a gasket. Makes a rare appearance. He's not in it too much. Their hippie teacher.
Oh, God.
Again, not in it too much. Makes a rare appearance, but just funnier than hell. I loved watching it.
It's Beavis and Butthead. What's not to love?
Kudos to Mike Judge. One of the more underrated talents in Hollywood. If you have not watched Idiocracy, watch Idiocracy. Scary how much that movie, not a great movie, but it predicts a lot of what we're going through right now. You know, wrestler who is the president of the United States.
Could have been Jesse the Body Ventura.
Could be coming in the future.
You never know.
And that God help us all. That tells you how stupid we are to rely on the quote unquote intelligence of celebrities.
Yeah, once again, California trying to dictate everything. Weren't we promised back in grade school that California was going to fall off the planet? When?
One of the Conquistador's 2 greatest quotes of all time.
Ugh.
Along with his rant about cable television news.
Goddamn Ted Turner to hell for creating the 24-hour news cycle, which was the beginning of the end of this great country.
Well, because Dave didn't review anything this week, I guess that wraps up our movie segment.
It does. The anniversary trip kind of took a few days out of everything last week.
Again, you want me to screen all the crap for you. So when I watch a good movie, you'll go, oh, I'll watch that one, sure.
We'll find one.
Next week, we don't have any fixed movie on the agenda, so I'm thinking I might have
it's movie roulette.
I have an Uncle Kev Storytime movie for next week, possibly, maybe.
Potentially.
Right. That being said, tons of stuff to talk about in TV and streaming, including the aforementioned Hero-gasm.
Frenchie would have loved this.
Yeah, that's right. The boys going strong. Is that the wrong way to put it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a rousing experience.
But you said not as bad. You were expecting worse.
I expected worse. It was tamer than I thought it would be.
Even though for 2 weeks you've been warning us here about what was coming. No pun intended.
Yeah, the reports were that it was going to be worse than it was. Stay tuned, kids.
Yeah, we'll talk about Hero-gasm and the boys coming up in just a second. We'll be right back. Stuck in a no-win situation? Wife being held captive while your feet bleed? Take a second to decompress. Pull out your smartphone and listen to Sports Frenzy 2.0 on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. And don't forget to check out their Facebook page. The Maestro and the Conquistador will take your mind off your dire predicament and give you the best non-PC sports commentary you'll find anywhere. And once you compose your exit strategy and take down some German terrorists, you'll want to yell, "Yippee-ki-yay, Sports Frenzy 2.0!
Hey kids, segment 3 of the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy here. We're recording on June 29th. This will hit July 2nd in time for 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
I'm the Maestro, Kevin Crane. And of course, by the time you hear this, the final 2 extra long episodes that wrap up season 4 of Stranger Things will have hit on Netflix. We will have our full review of season 4 coming next week. So don't forget to check us out for that.
So looking forward to this.
Well, you'll be blowing shit up. I'll be watching Stranger Things.
I'll watch Stranger Things before I blow shit up for the holiday.
Of course, also, starting this Friday, again, already happened, as we tape, The Terminal List, Amazon Prime, new series with Chris Pratt. Looks very interesting. We will take a look at that, let you know what we think of the first episode or 2, depending on how many Amazon decides to grace us with.
Yep.
Again,
depends how much I get sucked into GT7.
Well, we never know because with Reacher, you got all episodes at once.
Yeah, The Boys, you got the first couple episodes, and then it's one a week.
So we could have a couple to review next week. We might have one.
We don't know. Roll the dice and see what we get.
But what we do have is episode 6 of season 3 of The Boys. Dave has been warning us, kids, for weeks about this.
We've been hearing, watch out for the hero orgy. Hero-gasm, as it's been called. Poor Frenchie. He would have loved it.
Of course, this all stems from the fact that they're trying to track down Soldier Boy's old team, and that includes TNT, the twins.
Yep. God, the debaucherous twins who are hosting Hero-gasm at their abode, which Soldier Boy graciously takes credit for creating. Of course he does.
You alluded to the fact that you didn't think it was as bad as you thought it was going to be. What the hell were you expecting, man? When the twins, TNT, put that video on about the toilet cam, I had flashbacks to Jackass when they actually filmed one of the guys taking a dump in a toilet at a plumbing showcase
showroom
warehouse
where there was no way to flush it.
Jesus God! I don't need to. I just talked about cornholio in the last episode.
You didn't need to see the cornhole.
I didn't need to see real bungholes. I did not to see. I need teepee for my eyes.
Yeah, it was a little rough here and there.
Poor Eminem.
God.
The
termite comes out of a woman,
catches
him on the shoulder and arm as he's covered in her
female juices.
Eminem, being the OCD guy, is, what is that? Get me a paper
favorite
towel.
Jacket. What are you doing to my favorite jacket? Get me a bathroom. And he starts looking for a
bathroom. Opens a door and gets creamed.
Doused in male.
He gets creamed.
Male sexual juices.
Completely ruined the jacket. shirt, pants, everything.
And then it turns out, of course, this leads into, which at the end was awesome, the big showdown between Butcher, Soldier Boy, and Homelander.
Whew, that was
a little preview of what I think we're going to get here.
Yeah, that got interesting quick. Everybody was kind of surprised of who could do what. So, no surprises left on the table for anybody. Yeah, I think Soldier Boy, Butcher, and even Huey kind of know what to expect. Homelander, I think, completely taken by surprise. I don't know that he can quite recover from everything. He's such a psychotic mess.
I think what we saw is that Homelander one-on-one can beat any of them, but if they actually team up
and don't hesitate,
he can be beaten.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the end when he's looking at them in the mirror. There's vulnerability there.
Right. I still wonder if Soldier Boy is not going to turn and join him. I would hope not.
It's the wild card.
Yep.
It's a true super.
Now let me discuss. I have a discussion point here. Something that happened again in this episode, but has been going on regularly, probably even going back to last season. and you guys out there, you snowflake men, you can rip me apart and Huey. But I feel for Huey. You know, Starlight, his girlfriend, keeps giving him a hard time because he wants to juice up with the temporary V. Because he tells her over and over, I'm tired of you saving me. I want to be the one to save you for once. And of course, that's looked at now in this day and age.
Oh, you're misogynistic. You have this complex, blah, blah, blah.
I do the same thing.
So freaking what? I would be the same damn thing.
I'm sorry. Some of us believe in chivalry. Some of us believe in the old code where the man in the end is supposed to protect the woman. And if you snowflakes out there want to rip us to shreds for that, so be it. I will still stand by that code till I die. And it looks like Huey is too.
The problem is, what the hell's wrong with them defending each other? Why why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't they be there for each other?
Right.
And there's the disconnect on that for both of them.
Right. And of course, not trying to spoil things, but Starlight at the end makes a big revelation that I don't know where that's going to lead.
That threw a complete monkey wrench in everything.
I do like how they use social media. You can't follow all the tweet streams or whatever they call them.
Right.
Whenever they show a phone feed during a video, a TikTok video or a Instagram video, like they post. And again, that's what makes this show brilliant, is that they are making these superheroes live in our moment, our time.
Yep, it's all about popularity and ratings.
Right. Politics.
Yep.
Government. So glad, as we talked about in a previous episode, they're bringing back season 4, so we know this is not the end. But it's
God
still,
help us on what's going to happen next.
The thing is, it's still unbelievably interesting in that even though you know there's going to be another season, week by week, you just don't know what Homelander's going to pull.
Who's going to do what to who? Yeah, they keep you guessing. It is not a predictable show.
Where's Maeve?
Yeah, you don't know where the hell Maeve is.
And so now Butcher's lost his source for his temporary V.
Yep. It's very interesting. It keeps you on your toes. And you have to watch everything because The storyline.
There's TV
it's
screens
important.
in the back that have things on them. There's posters in the back.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to everything.
Yep.
So well done.
Can I just say this, though? I do not like the new CEO. I didn't like her.
Oh, she's a pain in the ass.
When she was, the secretary?
Yeah, she's useless.
Elizabeth Shue.
She's useless.
Oh, my God. She's
awful. Horrible. No personality. Nothing likable about her at all.
I want Giancarlo Esposito back.
No kidding.
I liked him as a foil, an administrative, a leader foil to
everything else.
To Homelander, yeah.
Yeah. Now I have to say,
her pulling her hair out drives me.
Oh my God, I'm so done with that. Just pull your head off and be gone already. So I do like A-Train taking Justice out on the
but he pushed it. He really pushed it.
At what price?
Right.
We don't know yet.
Right. So you have the politics involved there, but this one comes down on the side that it should have.
Yeah.
The racist,
big time.
The racist bastard hero
got what he deserved.
So is it Blue Hawk?
Blue Hawk.
Okay.
Or Blue Falcon or whatever. Blue Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as my youngest said, A-Train is kind of growing on you.
No.
A little bit.
No. He will never, ever
redeem himself in any.
Going back to the first episode where I had to actually stop watching the show, wait for months to
and then go back to it,
realize I had to have a different mindset. Because when he killed Huey's girlfriend, sorry kids, spoiler, that happens in the first 5 minutes.
Episode.
No,
he will never
redeem himself to me. Him and the Deep, those two, I want to see them dead at some point.
Oh my God, the Deep needs to just go to the Deep. He is such a scuzzball in every way.
I can actually understand Homelander more than those two scumbags. Believe it or not.
They're all a effed up mess.
And I still don't have any clue what's going on with Black Noir. 3 seasons in, I still don't know.
We got nothing.
No. Nope, very little. Other than he's disfigured. He was on Soldier Boy's crew.
Team. He was Soldier Boy's boy.
And it looks like they were tight. When he heard that Soldier Boy is alive
and going after people,
he ran. Very interesting. We'll see how that goes. All right. I'm watching the same stuff. Otherwise, I have been. Joe Pickett, Breeders, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. The one I do want to talk about a little bit more is The Old Man, episode 3. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. There's great twists and turns in every episode. Plus, if you're worried about investing your time, it's been renewed already for season 2.
There you go.
So
we're not going to have a left or right cliffhanger.
Nope, we will not have a cliffhanger. The Old Man will be back for season 2. Hopefully, Jeff Bridges will be alive.
Hopefully.
But it does a really good job. Sometimes it insults your intelligence. At the end of episode 3, they act like they're giving you some kind of cliffhanger, and you're like, come on. We know.
Really? No.
Yeah, we know that's not where it's going.
Yeah.
So
now started the new season of Expedition Unknown on Discovery with Josh Gates going on his little adventures looking for lost Nazi treasures, and then he's got the spin-off Expedition X where he's got 2 people looking at some of the supernatural things. The Ghost Train, Alaskan Lake Monster, the first couple episodes. And then his little talk show, which he started during the pandemic when he couldn't go out and do all the adventures. He wound up kind of just interviewing people via Zoom, and he's continued with that. And so, very good interviewer, worth checking out. Anything Josh Gates related.
Oh, and by the way, next week I will have my full breakdown of Money in the Bank, WWE's next premium live event is hitting Saturday night from Las Vegas, July the 3rd. Who among the men, among the women, will get the Money in the Bank contract? 85% guaranteed.
Goes to the Vince McMahon legal fund.
You shut up, Dave! He showed up on Raw again Monday night because John Cena was being honored, so he felt he had to.
Wow, lot of balls on that guy.
I'm telling you, he is letting everybody know he is not going down into that good night quietly. But 85% shot for whoever wins either the men's or the women's Money in the Bank contract to cash it in and become the world champion. 85%. So you can mock me all you want. This is going to be fun.
Interesting.
Yep. Both men and women, 7-person ladder match on both sides.
Alrighty then.
So you know what I will be doing? Sorry, you'll be watching SRX or blowing shit up. I'll be watching Money in the Bank.
You watch Money in the Bank, I'll blow shit up. I'll have more fun.
All right, I do unfortunately have a couple dumbasses to wrap things up. No moments of silence that I have. But unfortunately, the dumbasses that I have are all political. All political.
It is.
Because that's the world we live in, unfortunately. Now, 2 of the 3 are tied into the entertainment world, so I feel okay putting them in the dumbasses of the week, maybe possibly setting up the reservations for the Sports Frenzy Plane of Doom.
It's a very good possibility.
But one of them, even though she's already got her seat locked and loaded, isn't really politics, but she deserves to be a dumbass. I don't care if it's politics, entertainment, or not. I'm sorry. Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my God. She is such a vile, evil person.
In a photo op with newly elected Republican Texas Representative Mayra Flores, the first woman ever to be elected into Congress, not being born in the U.S. She's a naturalized citizen, elected in his office, trying to do a photo with her family, her 2 young daughters, her husband. You can look it up online. Don't take my word for it. And if you tell me it's doctored, you're full of shit. The video shows, while they're setting up for the picture, Nancy Pelosi doesn't like the fact that one of the girls on her right, one of Mayra Flores' daughters, is crowding her. She throws an elbow and pushes the girl aside. Mayra Flores actually commented on it after she saw it.
Said, I don't appreciate.
She said, praise to my daughter for putting up with that intolerance that was shown by Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, like Dave said, evil, nasty human being.
Horrible individual.
I would make you serve drinks on the Sports Frenzy Plane of Doom, except for the fact nobody wants to see that. Maybe we'll put you in the cargo hold.
She couldn't sell drinks because she'd be drinking it all herself or pouring it down her husband's gullet.
I still want to see the video. I still want to see the DUI video. The police footage of her husband getting pulled over. Again, celebrities, regular people, all that stuff's out there for everyone to see. Why the hell can't we see her husband's DUI police video?
Political bullshit.
Speaking again of which, I can't believe I used to like Howard Stern. I thought he was
There
humorous.
was a time where he was mildly amusing.
And now he has gone off the deep end. Now Howard Stern thinks he can run for president.
Oh, for the love of God.
In 2024.
Howard Stern's a moron.
So what are we going to have? A runoff between Howard Stern
and
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Oh, and Matthew McConaughey. Don't forget him.
All right.
And I'm sure George Clooney will be the next one to throw his hat in the ring. Here's my question about all this. And you people out there, you can question whether or not I can say this or not. I'm a college graduate. I graduated with honors. Dave's a college graduate. We have a certain level of intelligence verified by the quote-unquote system. When do these actors and these singers, and we'll get to singers in a second, where do they get off acting like they're smarter than everybody else? If you look at their educational background, they probably dropped out of high school, yet they think they're smarter than everybody else.
Some of them went through high school and dropped out of college because they couldn't hack it.
All they care about is attention. Haven't you figured this out yet? They do all this to get attention. Kathy Griffin puts a severed head of Donald Trump out there because she wants attention, because her career is flagging, because nobody cares about her. When are you people going to realize these celebrities? Stop watching them. Stop watching the Kardashians. Stop it. Stop. Dave and I don't do this. Why are you doing this?
If you stop, so will they. Do not give them a platform.
Finally, the singer I'm talking about, Dave and I have experienced this live and in person. Green Day. One of the most expensive concert tickets we have ever bought. We wanted to see Green Day.
Yep, we wanted to be entertained, listen to the music. We lost out on probably 5 or 6 songs because of his bullshit political rantings.
That would be Billy Joe Armstrong, the lead singer of Green Day. Now, of course, we talked about this during the regular Sports Frenzy edition this week. We'll reiterate it. We're not commenting on the particular Supreme Court ruling that everybody's freaking out about, including Billy Joe Armstrong. But
we're commenting on the complete lack of intelligence in response.
So Billy Joe Armstrong, of course, doesn't have the balls to do it in the U.S. because he's a little angry pissant. If he wants to track me down, he and I can throw down in a minute. And I'll be more than happy to pummel him into submission. Because he doesn't have the balls to say this in America. He has to say this over in London. And say, I am so ashamed of being an American citizen because of the particular Supreme Court ruling that I'm renouncing my United States citizenship.
Guess what? I'm renouncing my fandom for Green Day. I will remove them from my playlist. I don't need this bullshit.
I would like to point out to Billy Joe Armstrong, again, another one who I'm sure is a Rhodes fucking scholar, right?
Not.
So much more brilliant than you or I. Does he look back at history and remember what happened in the late 1700s? Does he remember what the British did to the colonists in America in the late 1700s? Why does everybody act like Great Britain is so fantastic and so awesome? They seem to forget they were oppressive to the colonists in America. And America said, we want to be free. Now all of a sudden, they jump back and go, no, we want to go back to Great Britain. Madonna wants to go back to Great Britain.
Don't let the ocean hit you in the ass on the way out.
Do your history. Everybody sucks. Every country has history that makes them look bad. That's what you idiots in Hollywood don't understand.
Why don't you ask India about Great Britain?
Why don't you ask the American Indians about the American colonists? We all know. We all have bad history. if you go back generations and generations and generations. The problem I have is nobody can move past what happened 100, 200, 300 years ago. If we could and just say, we're
Shit
good now.
happened.
We're good
We're
now.
moving on.
It's not happening now. Despite what you think about the quote-unquote current Supreme Court ruling.
And you're all jumping to conclusions about everything else. Pink telling fans who agree with the Supreme Court to fuck off that she doesn't want them listening to her music anymore.
Yeah, that happened with Halsey as well. Halsey did the same thing at a concert recently. Halsey.
Yeah, real intelligent. Those opposed to the decision have no intelligent comeback. It's all fuck you, fuck them, fuck this. That's what you get.
And that's what we try to fight here on Sports Frenzy, as much as you might not believe it. Dave and I, when this kind of stuff comes up and it bleeds,
have an intelligent discourse,
but you can't. Into the entertainment world, we will bring it up.
Because
and that's what we're doing.
You can't have an intelligent discourse.
No, Dave, 100% right. As brutally honest and as caustic as that is, he's absolutely right. All you people come back with is, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. Sit down and have a discussion. And you can't, because like I said, we're college-educated people. We can sit down, no cursing, no swearing. We can talk about this point, that point. We can debate. We can discuss. You can't, Billy Joe Armstrong. You can't, Pink. You can't, Halsey, because all you're going to do is sit there and go, oh, look, I got more money than you, so I'm smarter than you. Your money doesn't make you smarter than us. It might make you more powerful, but it doesn't make you smarter. And it makes you small and it makes you little when all you can do is take your fans and tell them to go fuck off because they don't agree with your opinions.
Bingo. Screw it all.
So that's another fun-filled frolic in the tulips here on Sports Frenzy 2.0.
Happy Independence Day, damn it.
Think about it, kids. Think about it. It's Independence Day weekend, and we've got people protesting and arguing. Congress wants to look at January the 6th. What about all the damage being done in these riots over the past week? Is anybody going to do a congressional hearing about those?
What about all the riots even before January 6th that were going on out west?
Oh, no. Jack Del Rio tried that, and look what happened
and
to
he
him.
Was right. What's the freaking difference?
Nope.
What is the freaking difference?
We're not allowed to talk about that because, of course,
it's
the media.
One leaning versus the other.
The media only sides with one end of the political spectrum and not the other. Next week, as we mentioned, we will have our knockdown, drag-out, blowout debate about Stranger Things final 2 episodes for season 4. I will try to watch a movie
and
screen it for Dave so that he won't have to watch it.
I will find something.
Like for the last 2 weeks, I've made sure that he doesn't have to waste his time on movies that suck because, of course, he's got a family and I don't. So,
and I appreciate it.
Yeah. What? He's the Conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the Maestro, Kevin Crane.
We had fun this week. We really did. Yelling, screaming. That's what we do. Yep. So we will check you out next week. Again, have a great 4th of July. Remember,
blow shit up.
Remember what this means. Remember what this weekend, what the 4th of July means. Don't take it for granted. Don't take the freedoms that you have been given for granted. Stop being little bitches. Stop being little snowflakes. Realize you are lucky to live in this country. We get the right to exercise our free speech on this podcast. You get the right to exercise yours as well, but we have the right to call you douchebags.
As you do to us, but we need to do it in a civilized manner.
Always the voice of reason. David, the Conquistador Height.
Until next week, kids.
Bye-bye.